Hello everyone and welcome to another F1 My Team episode here today, and this is the halfway stage of Season 3, and this is officially the last race of the European part of the calendar. After this we head stateside to the US and South America, so that custom calendar is going to kick in once again and we're going to have a bit of randomness. Nonetheless, this weekend we have rain forecast for qualifying. If you haven't seen the previous episode at Spa, go watch it. It blew the championship race wide open, so go check it out guys. Some big developments happening in that one, and let's just say there's at least 5 drivers going for the title this year, currently at the halfway stage. Now, in the background you saw the upgrades. We don't have any performance ones right now. We have one on the way, which is a major for the chassis, which should keep us on top. However, let's talk about the championship. So, Leclerc leads, Verstappen second, myself and then Hulkenberg are third and fourth, and then Sainz and Russell are mathematically still in the mix. Perez and Hamilton a bit further back, but DNF last time for us, along with Verstappen. Leclerc only got P7. However, Hulkenberg won his second race in 3 races, which has brought him right back into play. So things are hotting up, man. After practice, the car felt great. The pace was mid, okay-ish. It wasn't the best. Better than Hungary, but not as good as Spa last time out. So we're kind of in the middle. Yeah, with that said, after practice, we've racked up a bunch of discounts and we've got all of those applied to, the team and all that stuff. And yeah, we're now going to move into qualifying, into Q1 specifically. Now, as you saw before, we have rain forecast for this session, but right now it seems to be dry, so it looks like a dry start to this session. What I did was, as soon as we loaded into the session, you'll see here, literally straight away onto the weather forecast, rain in 5 minutes. So I'll put the medium tyres on and we're going straight out and wasting no time, and yeah, we're going to try and get on track as soon as possible. You can see now currently we're on the back straight and now into the Ascari chicane, looking to try and set a banker and hopefully get through with 1 lap. We are running a very second-hand MGUH.
We're expecting the rain to hit us any time now. Dry's definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
My MGUH is about 65% warm, so besides that the rest of the engine's fine, but we're going to have to try and take the pain and stretch this MGUH a little bit longer ideally. So I'm going to try and get through this event if I can. First up on the board, 19.3. Not a million miles away off Russell and Sainz. Latifi goes behind us, and the pace wasn't that bad on the medium. So I'm actually going to go for a second push. The rain still hasn't started to fall. I've got enough fuel and enough battery for another lap. Tyre temps aren't a concern here at Monza, so I can afford to push on. And we go purple in sector 1 straight away into the 4-5 chicane. Doing a nice job through there, getting a pretty decent exit. We find a little bit of time as we now head into the Lesmos.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Lesmo 2 also getting a nice clean run through there, and we're now a 10th up, which is looking pretty healthy at this stage. Heading now into the Ascari chicane, 6th gear for this one, and brake at about 65-70 meters. Try to stay tight to open the exit, and then now run down to the Parabolica, and yeah, we're going to see if we can try and hold on to this advantage. Look for the 50-meter board as your reference, down to 5th gear, and then try to stay tight throughout the entire sequence here, and now up to the line. Hopefully it's enough. We're at P5 right now and the rain is just starting to fall. If you look at the car and the chassis, there's a few streaks of rain on the car, so the rain is falling right now, and literally a matter of moments after, DRS got disabled. So P4 right now, and by the end of Q1 we finished in P5 and we got through comfortably on the medium. The rain just absolutely just chucked it down at the end, and it was good timing from us. We got the job done and we're through. The big scalp and the big surprise is Max Verstappen. He's out in Q1, and I believe Lewis Hamilton is also out as well. So 2 big names missing the cutoff. Hulkenberg just made it through. He went out super late in the rain, but somehow made it through. And there's a few surprises. Both Williams are through, both Haas cars are through. And yeah, we're going to see a bit of a mixed-up grid as we head into Q2. Now at this point, the rain was just coming down like crazy. Intermediate tyres for this session, and it's pretty much heavy-ish rain. It's kind of in between the inters and full wets. It's on that crossover.
The rain looks like it's going to be getting much lighter over the next 10 to 15 minutes. There should be more grip, but don't expect a dry track yet. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
So that's the weather update. Looks like we could be getting some improved conditions as the session goes on. Our first lap gives us P8 ahead of Hulkenberg and Gasly, 1.1 seconds off Alex Albon, which is a bit of a red flag, which tells me Hulkenberg and Gasly's laps weren't that great. So yeah, we're going to try and push on for a second attempt. Now, we did a good job through 1 and 2, but then I lost it on the exit really badly. And yeah, I thought the lap was going well, but we tried to overdrive and push, and it ended up costing us more time. So well, you can see now we're down by 3/10, 4/10 as we have a moment out of the Alboreto curve. And yeah, that second lap is going to be absolutely terrible. I've got one more lap in me, so we're going to try and push for one more. I feel like there's not a lot of pace though in the wet. A bit like in Spa last time out, we're just struggling in the wet conditions, and into turn 1 we completely mess up the chicane, which was a big mistake. So that's going to be it. We're out of fuel, out of battery now to go for another lap, so bring the car back. And the game and the pit crew recommended to go for the wet tyres, so I'm going to stick the wets on and see if we can be productive with these and make them work. P13 as things stand right now, but we'll see what we can do. I'm going to try and go for 2 timed laps, so back-to-back consecutive ones. That's the plan here. So starting the lap, already up by half a tenth as we race to turn 1. We've got a bit of traffic leaving the pit exit. Hulkenberg is just going to get out of the way in the right moment there and not disturb us on our lap. Through the first chicane we go, pretty okay, bit safe. We're pretty much dead even compared to our previous run in terms of lap time right now, so no improvement or loss in the first sector. Heading into sector 2 now though, braking just before the 100, down to 4th, Gasly ahead. Slight distraction for me there as he outbroke himself and ran deep into the corner, so we lose a little bit of time in the process. Now heading into the Lesmos, we do start to find a bit of lap time through here, and it seems like the wet tyre was the way to go, especially for Lesmo 2. I just found a load of grip, the front end actually turned, unlike on the Inters. And yeah, we're looking pretty good so far as we're 4/10 up along the back straight. Into Ascari then, we're currently at about 2/10 down on Zhou Guanyu at P11, so we're not exactly looking to get into Q3 with this lap, but maybe gain a couple of places as we have a pretty smooth Ascari, and we're now 4.5 up. Heading into Alboreto, we're going to try and spot the 50. That's going to be the reference. Yet again, even in the wet, now hold it smoothly through there. Easy on the throttle on corner exit, and race up to the line as we have a snap-on oversteer, and we throw away about a tenth in the last corner alone. 28.7, P13 for now. But let's go for a second push, as I know there's more pace in it. Down to turn 1, on the anchors, we just catch a right front and just outbrake ourselves a little bit too much, and that's going to cost us everything as we lose the lap time. I did try to keep on pushing, but I wasn't improving, so yeah, unfortunately that's going to be game over for us in qualifying, and we're out in Q2. So Hulkenberg, big surprise, was faster on the wets than some cars on Inters and got through into Q3 on the wet tyre, which is pretty insane. However, we're out, we're 1.2 seconds off our teammate, and we're out by a long way. 9/10 was the gap, and yeah, overall the pace wasn't there. Similar to Spa, and just similar to, I believe, I don't know when something changed, because there was a time when I was better than the AI, even on 110, but I don't know when it is, like a month ago now or 2 months ago, but some sort of patch or something, but something's changed, and the AI just so much stronger than me now in the wet conditions, so whenever it rains, it's always bad news for us, regardless of setup, car, online, offline, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, last place in Q2, P16 for the race start, and we have a lot of work to do, and we DNF'd for the last race, so this isn't looking good.
Welcome back to one of only 2 countries that has held a race every year since the very first Formula One World Championship in 1950. It is, of course, Italy, one of the great racing nations, and it's time to get underway for the Italian Grand Prix. With top speeds up to 215 and an average lap speed of around 155 miles per hour, Monza's reputation of one of the fastest circuits in the sport is well earned. We have 11 corners on this 3.6-mile track, with the best overtaking chance coming into the heavy braking zone of the Turn 1 chicane. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. It's Sergio Perez on pole today, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Russell, Nico Hülkenberg and Norris, Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, Mick Schumacher and Kevin Magnussen, Albon, Joe, Pierre Gasly and Vettel, Latifi, Martinez, Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton, Tsunoda, Verstappen, Ocon, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today.
Now it's time for the race here at Monza. We're starting from P16 and we have a hell of a lot of work to do to try and get to the front. However, I feel optimistic. I think the pace in the dry is good. I think Q1 kind of proved that on the medium tyre that we were in the mix. So for this one, we're going to start on the medium tyre and then move to the hard tyre. Usually, tyre wear is better than forecast, so I'm kind of looking at a medium to soft if possible, but we'll see and kind of judge tyre wear and see how things go. Fuel wise, I'm going for 1.2 laps extra. I've increased my tyre pressures a little bit, especially on the rear, to try and make it and have better tyre wear throughout the race. So my prediction, I'd like to aim for a podium if possible. If not, a top 5 has to be the bare minimum, because otherwise the championship starts to, get away from us. So I'm going to see what happens. Hopefully, though, decent points at the end of it. But either way, guys, if you like, and hopefully you enjoy it, and let's get into the action. And fingers crossed, it's a good one. Now, we've done it before. If there was ever a time for one of those absolutely insane race starts, especially like Paul Ricard, that springs to mind, now would be a good time for it. So we're going to have to hopefully rely on a decent first lap to try and fight our way up the order. So, getting the last bit of tyre temp in the rubber, which is going to be very key for the race start. So let's see if we can hopefully make it a good one. Engine wear is a slight concern. Our MGUH is on like 66%, but we've got to try and stretch it and make it work because of the one that we lost in Portimao. So yeah, that aside, let's line her up and let's get ready. We'll take that. Aggressive to the inside. Predictions in the comments. Feel free to edit to see if you're right or wrong. Well, let's do this.
Okay, we're reaching a danger point with the wear on the MGUH. Overheating the engine will exacerbate the issue, so keep temps under control, please.
I'm getting boxed in. Chose the worst line possible. Gonna just see if I can fight back throughout the lap. Hamilton with a great start though, up to P15. We're down to P18. Terrible from us. Straight away, let's see what the straight line speed is looking like. So far, seems pretty similar to everybody else. Whoa, my god. Weaving in the braking zone and we get Bottas and Latifi accidentally. That was not my intention, but we'll take it. As we just close the door on Latifi there to avoid him going for a stupid lunge up the inside of Lesmo 1. My god, that was an insane double overtake. Completely accidental, but it worked in our favour, so I'm taking it. You can see the MGUH pretty knackered. 2 wide situation up ahead. We might be able to close in and get a run here as Vettel, Hamilton going through the Ascari chicane. We get Sebastian Vettel on the exit. Let's keep using the batteries now. Hamilton tucked in behind Gasly. We know the Mercedes doesn't have the best straight line speed, so this may present an opportunity. Gasly gets done around the outside of Alboreto. Here we go. We might be able to get a double here. Hamilton has no straight line speed. We've got cars in the pits. Am I going for the 3 wide? Yes, we are. Let's go for it. Up the inside we go. It's all very tight. That's not going to work. I'm going to back off and try and get the exit. Let's try and get Hamilton here. Come on. Through Curva Grande we go. To the outside. We'll get the inside line into here. Can't break too late, otherwise we're going to hit Gasly, but we go through. And we get Hamilton. Lovely. Let's get Pierre, if we can, on the back straight ideally. Important that we do not fall out of the DRS train as we get our first track limit warning. Just running slightly out of bounds through Lesmo 1. Used a lot of battery, but it's been worth it. Albon in P11 will hopefully catch him as well. Well, let's see. DRS will be enabled next lap. Very key that we try and stay with the lead group, the top 11 in this race. Out front, we've got a few cars breaking away. Hamilton getting the run out of Ascari here. We're going to use the battery to pull ahead in the second part of the straight. And there we go. That's Hamilton now dropped behind. I've just noticed for some reason my car has gone into lean mix on its own. Is this a new thing or am I tripping? My car just went to lean mix by itself. I didn't change a thing. I just saw it happen. Now it's gone up to standard by itself. Is this a new thing or has this been happening? I've just never realised before. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, Hamilton behind us, and because of that lean mix, I don't know if that's a thing or not, but Hamilton now has the RS on me. He's going to probably get by here, so I'm not actually going to fight that hard. It's important that we try and stay as a train and try to catch up to the cars ahead, so we'll let Hamilton crack on. Yellow flag. And we've lost one of the McLarens.
Okay, some information on Norris. They're retiring from the race.
Well, that's Lando out of the equation, so we gain a place back. I wonder if the lean and standard issue is to do with the MGUH, so possible engine failure or engine issues. Would make sense, to be fair. So Verstappen making a move on Sebastian Vettel and making progress. Hamilton's dropping me here. I don't quite have the pace to keep up right now. Hopefully we catch up to the cars ahead though and make a nice little train, but we're going to have to try and get past some cars before Verstappen arrives. I'm also trying to recharge battery, but it's just not easy. I lose too much in traction zones. Rather impressively, Alex Albon is pushing forwards here. He's got past two cars and has moved himself up into P9. Hamilton has dragged us into this fight, but Albon is at the front of this little mini train. This DRS train went from being very strong pace-wise to now being very slow. There's two Haas cars at the front, and I think they're battling, and now everybody is caught up, including Albon. You know, when a Williams is dragging a pack of cars and it catches you, that says a lot about the pace. Verstappen now getting the gap down to 2.1, starting to really catch now. So this is now costing us time. So either I make a move, or we change our strategy a bit for hards, or something's got to happen here, because this is now starting to affect things a little bit. Into Ascari, this could present an opportunity. Hamilton gets it done around the outside. What a move that was. Second warning as we get a bit loose on the exit. This battle's going to continue here, so let's see. Hamilton visibly struggling for straight line speed at points, but then can somehow make moves work. Verstappen now just a second behind. He's getting in the mix. Trying to recharge, but I also want to go for the move. I'm kind of in, you know, two states of mind. I don't know what to go for here. Hamilton, though, closing in on Gasly. Verstappen is no slouch. That Red Bull on a straight is an absolute cruise missile. Here comes Max. He's still closing. He's very quick. Yep, that's fair. Had to take that. Evasive action. Right, that's a big mistake. It is what it is. Right, let's try and get back to it. They're losing time in the corners, but we're going to have to use all our battery again to close back up, which is not what I wanted. This race isn't going well so far. Bit of debris there. Bit of front wing. We'll find out in a minute whose that was. Trying to close back in here. We should be able to do this lap. Verstappen also has got past. He's making progress. I've got to try and keep up with him. Hamilton, Gasly too wide. To Ascari. I'm going to take every opportunity that I get here. Ocon going for the move. Gasly fighting back. Could be three wide here. I want to go for the move, but also don't want to lose my front wing. Oh, that's a brake check. Oh, that's not good. Right, let's see what happens here as Verstappen pits. That, to be fair, that's pretty smart. That might help Verstappen now long term. Let's find out. Gonna try and sneak one up the inside of Lewis here, as I couldn't quite tell what line he was going for, and Gasly's a bit slow on the apex. We're gonna try and sneak past and pick up the inside line. There we go. That's two cars past. No.
Let me know you're okay.
I turned in, or turned across, because I thought I had it. What? Why is Gasly keeping his nose in there? he's not even, his front wing is barely alongside my wheel. That's just ridiculous. Why the hell? That's not even alongside. His front, like, at least left rear to right front. He's nowhere near. I mean, that is ridiculous. My gut really wants a flashback, but that's just the way it goes. Wow.
Made great use of the clear air today then, and didn't allow anyone to exploit the slipstream behind them. What a great win here at Monza. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. It's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
For the second race in a row, we have DNF'd, but we're not the only car. Max Verstappen doesn't appear on the top 14, which means something happened. That aside, Sergio Perez with a huge win today, by the way. That gets him right back in the championship mix. Leclerc with a massive podium. That's going to really help in his championship quest as he outscores me and Max by 18 points. Hulkenberg on the podium yet again. That's 4 in a row now for Hulkenberg. Further down, Russell P4 also picks up points versus us in the championship, and Hamilton recovered to P6 in the end. So that's kind of where we maybe could have finished this race, because Ocon was also behind us, so somewhere in this region. Schumacher P8, Sainz P9, Magnussen finishes out the point scorers, and then we have Ricciardo with the fastest lap in P12. Verstappen did indeed DNF. Wow. So, standings, look at this. Hulkenberg leapfrogs everyone into second place. He overtakes me and Max Verstappen. Russell up to P5. Checo with that win has got himself in the mix. And right now, that top 7, anyone can win the championship right now. Leclerc has a bit of breathing space, but the gap from Hulkenberg down to Perez is a race win. It's that damn competitive, and it's all to play for. Constructors Championship, we're still second, only 7 points behind, but it does hurt that we've dropped the ball. 2 consecutive DNFs, and both of them pretty much thanks to the AI. Of course, we had a reliability one in Portimao, which, you know, is unfortunate, but I hate getting taken out. We've had 2 L's in a row, which is really, really painful, but still, both championships up to play for. 4 teams to fight in the Constructors. In the drivers, Hamilton is in P8, he's a bit further back. Even still, though, if you look at his pace this race, he's competitive, so it's insane. This could be one of the best seasons I've ever had in any career mode so far. It just is that competitive. Anyone can win it, and it's red hot. I believe this was the last European round, so we now head into the exciting part of the custom calendar. So we're going to go to the States, I believe, next, and we're going to have Canada, Miami, Kota, Brazil, Mexico, and then we go back to the Far East and we close out the season. So yeah guys, the custom calendar kicks in now and we have more exciting races ahead. We're pretty much at the halfway stage. I believe this was round 11, so yeah, this is how things look at the halfway point in the championship. So leave a like if you are excited for the rest of the season, guys. Even though it wasn't the best race, we keep fighting. Subscribe for more daily F1 content and, you know, weekly My Team career mode. As always, a massive shout out to the members for supporting the channel. Finally, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already, and I'll see you guys in my next episode. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.